Need to make it
Three, two, one. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome
Hello.
to our Mindful Leadership podcast with my wonderful co-host, Natasha Rocha. Hello, Natasha.
Hello, everyone. Hi, John. So happy to be here. Super
Well,
excited for today.
yes. What a big occasion.
Mm,
So, and I can perhaps introduce that. First off, we didn't get, unfortunately, our special guest, Katja, couldn't attend last minute. So sending so much love to her, and hopefully either myself or Natasha will catch up with her separately after this live stream. And the other news I wanted to share, it's funny, sometimes I get a bit of a crackling. I don't know if you can hear it. And I think it's me.
okay.
This comes and goes.
This comes and
Um, yeah, the update that I wanted to share for our Mindful Leadership podcast is that certainly for now, this will be the last podcast episode we'll be doing. Maybe ever, maybe for a while. Who knows? Never say never, right?
No.
And I feel that, if you want to know why, maybe stick around and watch the episode, because I'm sure more will come out in a less formal manner than me talking in the introduction. And my suggestion today for Natasha and I to focus on is, first of all, the journey that we've been on with the Mindful Leadership podcast, what we've learned, what our top experiences have been, and then to share also a bit about ourselves, present and future, including what we feel we're gonna see more of in the future for the world. So really excited to connect today. And thank you, Natasha. And in case I forget, just in case, thank you so much for this incredible experience, this journey with you. And I know it's the end of one journey and the start of a new one. However, focusing on this, I just wanted to share so much gratitude, and I feel I've learned so much. And it's just always such an honor to work with you. So thank you so much from my heart to yours.
Yeah, I'm also feeling gratitude as well, because it has been quite an incredible journey. And just looking at where this journey started, I really love working with you as well. And it's like we say, yes, this podcast might be coming in, this cycle might be coming into a close in this space, but it doesn't mean we're going to stop working together as well, which is beautiful. So this journey really started in your van, us having a conversation of you leaving Amazon. And sometimes you don't actually realize how important these conversations are and how much they could actually change your life.
Yeah.
Right. And feeling into that, let's do this, and that excitement, and then just going ahead and doing it has led us to meeting so many incredible guests. And I think reconnecting with us. And for you, I'm very grateful that I found somebody that I can actually talk to and bounce these ideas off and understands that energetic frequency. And for me, it's almost kind of like, working together to change the world. Right, which is absolutely incredible. So I'm in so much gratitude for you, and I'm in gratitude for you pushing quite a few of my boundaries as well. So very grateful for that. I love living in the uncomfortable, and you certainly helped me with that. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that I remember that conversation vividly, and yeah, like at the time, I was so new to, I was so green to this this new adventure of leaving my corporate job and starting out as a spiritual psychic mentor, and just Jon Binnie, just whatever that's going to be. I had no idea at that time what it was going to be. And you were really the first person that I began working with. I was like, hang on, how does this work? Like, do we call ourselves something? Are we like, is there a company thing? Do our companies, like, as we're owners of small businesses each, say businesses, we don't need to make them small. And that was really fascinating. And I also love the conversations about getting, like, up front. I love that we actually we met a few times. We talked a lot about alignment, and the alignment just felt it was all very easy.
Yeah.
And I remember there's some things we didn't agree on, and that they felt easy too. They felt like,
yes,
yeah, that's also good. Like, we don't, because it'd be kind of weird if we were like, I am completely aligned with everything you say, and you're like, hang on, are you
no,
sure?
are you sure? No, and I love that because it's like it's that exploration of how can we do this in a better way. If that's not working, how can we work, can we collaborate? And I think that's important, and I think that also reflects what is happening in businesses coming up as well. It's
Mm,
that coherence is going to start becoming really, really important in mindful leadership. And I think it's very important that we've started this journey, but to continue it in a quite a different way in supporting people, whether they, startups or big corporates. In At least I know my passion, my purpose is to bring conscious business to those that are ready for it, right now into the world more than anything else. And that was a huge change for me this year in
yeah.
that leadership. So I've moved very much from that, and last year really kicked my butt in the space of growth and shadow work and stepping into that space of leadership. And I think this podcast had quite a lot to do in terms of supporting it with the people that we connected with and with the energies of supporting each other, which I think was beautiful. And it's amazing to see how much you've grown this year as well,
Thank you.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really funny, when you reflect on the kind of the domains where we focus, we kind of swapped, right? Like I came from corporate into the woo woo, and then you're like woo woo, and like more into the corporate space, and I
Yeah.
still feel the overlap. And one thing that you really helped me with is learning to be all of me, Jon, including with so many of our guests. Like we did 40 episodes, right? This might be
Oh,
the 40,
wow.
41. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And maybe more than some do in years, right? And it felt every time we met with a guest, I some guests you could there was a feeling that perhaps they aligned a bit with some of our very broad
Mhm.
we both have very inclusive and expansive psychic and energetic experiences and beliefs and
Mhm.
abilities. And some guests would turn up and they kind of resonate with a bit of that. I always feel that there was at least some kind of
Mhm.
matching energy there. And so I became much more comfortable in being around people and working with people without them having to like subscribe to the whole Jon Binnie universe, right? It's like
Yeah.
you don't need to, like, because that's really important for us all. Um, so thank you for that. I felt that I could come out as a psychic to people that perhaps I would be shy of or shy away from connecting with. And every experience has been so wonderful. The guests,
Mhm.
wow, so expansive. So many wonderful souls from around the world.
Absolutely. And I always left charged and motivated, and it's almost like, yes, there's that, we're connected to a beautiful committee and committee, to a beautiful community, and 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 quite international as well, which was quite incredible, which really makes this world, how vast it is, really seem small when you're connected to people that are in alignment in one way or another. And the guests that weren't in alignment on some of the things, it was awesome because they provided different perspective
Yeah.
as well, which is great. So I've really, really enjoyed that. So what are your predictions for next year? What is at least one of them that you see coming up in 2026 with regards to mindfulness in life and business or in career? As you say, we overlap in all of that. How do you foresee things changing
Um,
or shifting?
so yeah, I do. One thing that I started during the Mindful Leadership podcast was doing once a week doing um, prediction videos, so psychic prediction videos of
Mhm.
what's coming up. And that journey, I must admit, has been it's a very vulnerable thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
you got to listen to Jon Binnie. He's going to tell you all this amazing stuff that's going to happen. And so, and I feel a lot of the focus of those predictions, because when I last couple of months ago, I did predictions for the next 8 years. And
Mhm.
that was really fascinating because it really stretched my kind of mental beliefs. It's like, is this
Mhm.
even possible? Is this real? Like,
Mhm.
can anyone really see? But it's not about my predictive power. It's a lot about channeling in messages. And very interestingly, I don't access the Akashic records, which would be a really obvious thing to do for those practices. So what's coming up this year is, first of all, we've just passed. So yesterday we passed a period where the timelines of Earth have not just merged. So there's been this kind of conflation of third dimension and fifth dimension energies like coming together. So these very kind of high vibration, happy, I'm Jon Binnie, you should work for yourself and do whatever you want and follow your joy. And then the heavy third dimensions, a lot of like truths coming out, a lot of conflict and threats of war and all these things. So these timelines coming together. And then this what really happened over the last few days, I don't know if you feel it energetically, is this kind of this push upwards. So the higher vibration timeline is now, I describe it as locked in, and I keep being told that phrase, locked in, and that doesn't mean that there's no going back, or if you're not following your dream, you're done. Like, it's none of that, because there's no deadline for any of this. What it does feel is that you're getting the option now to step into a timeline that is secure, that is always going to be here from now on. And so this new world that we're entering, no one knows, right? None of us know what it's like. We know what we're unhappy with. And that's also what this heavy third dimensional energy is doing. And we see it in our world leaders busy, like fighting each other, destroying things, breaking relationships that existed for decades, threatening each other. The economy is questionable, like everything that they can do to derail those feelings of safety. And for all that triggers us, it gives us all this opportunity now. And I feel this like coming up into the summer, where we're going to start realizing as a collective, this is good that I feel unhappy with these things, because now I need to make decisions. Me, Jon Binnie, me, whoever you are watching, like everyone in the world needs to start to make decisions about what we want. And we don't, I think some of the constraints that we placed on ourselves as humanity is, but I don't know. Like, will we always have governments? I don't know. Like, I literally don't know. And so it's a question of, well, we know what we don't want. And we're now had quite a few years of that. And especially as more truths are revealed. And a lot more ET contact as well. So I love this term. I actually got it from channeling a tree, which I love. Described it as micro contact. And this is each of us building up individual relationships with stars, shooting stars, orbs in the sky, beings in dreams, your spirit guides, like all these different kind of facets and dimensions of non-earthbound beings. And that will continue on, and it will by the summer as well, we'll have kind of hit this point as well. So it's almost like our extraterrestrial family will be in our consciousness at the same time, when we're facing our kind of fears and saying, okay, what do we want to do? Towards the end of the year, starting to see more decisions, people saying, right, maybe, as one thing we've touched on many times is like, will we start to break up larger companies? Will they become smaller, decentralized, federated? Will we start as individuals to become less of a salary slave or wage slave and start to break free? So that's a long answer. There's more, but that's enough for now, right?
Well, no, I absolutely agree with you. And I've been seeing a lot of the same things in a different way, from in the sense that, yes, we are just entering. I mean, we just finished a cycle. Even if we look at, Chinese astrology, the year of the snake is just ending. And I think it ends around about the 10th of February. So we're, not only from a macro environment, from a micro environment, we've been shedding a lot of old patterns and a lot of old truths. Not only have they been surfacing outside, and you'll see a lot of effort in, politicians trying to still try and hide it, still try and control the narrative, still try and control freedom of speech. But this has also been happening internally, where old patterns for ourselves have been showing up. going, are you ready to shed this?
Yeah.
Are you ready to let go of this? Or have you had enough yet? And I think that in order to receive the changes that are happening now over the next 8-9 years, where everything needs to deconstruct in order for us to rebuild this, because the way it's worked, and it's like any kind of trauma or shadow, has served us until now, but the pendulum always swings way too far, and people are tired. We're tired of the same things. We're tired. Yes, this it's we've become enslaved in a completely different way. And that awareness has now started surfacing. And I think with things collapsing in the way that they are, the beauty of it is it creates awareness. It starts to awaken a lot of the population in life, in our careers, and we're in our business, and we're like, what are we doing? Like, what is an alignment? Like, it's like our values. It's like, have we been living these? Kind of a thing. And this is why I think that whole mental health industry, wellness industry, emotional intelligence, is we're starting to dig deeper into who we are as a collective, and we're starting to realize, these patterns don't work anymore.
Yeah.
And we can't lead from a place of empty. That's the thing. It's just like we empty. We're tired. Our bodies are recalibrating. And what I've started seeing more again as the cycle starts is many of us have started receiving downloads, those 3 a.m. wake ups, right? We're receiving those light codes. And perhaps it is our star families coming in. I do know that there's a lot of children being born, especially over the last 20, 30 years, that have been, those more of hybrid beings. And I think that's why neurodiversity is starting to show up a little bit more, not as a disability, but as a gift, because we cannot sustain what we've been doing. And all these beings are catalysts of change. And these are gifts that are being anchored into the planet. So there's those two constructs of the 3D going, oh no, let's shut that down. It's a disability. It's something that's bad for you. Whereas the 5D is like, these are new gifts, because these souls see things from a very different perspective, and they're here to be the catalyst of change. So, and you're right, money, education, healthcare, all of that, those main points, these foundations need to be rebuilt in a way that is conducive. And it's going to happen in the sense that I think that us as the people are demanding it.
Yeah.
And that's what's incredible about the new generations. I mean, our generation, we're just like, oh my goodness, they're just so not like us, they're so demanding, they're this, and it's just like, yeah, of course, they need to not be like us, because they need to complain, when it's like being taken advantage of, when they're working 16, 18-hour days without getting paid for it. They know their self-worth. They're like, no, this doesn't fly for me, kind of a thing. So it's beautiful to see that, and they adapt to change quite quickly. And I think with AI coming into place, and really over the next 5 years, that intelligence, that ability, that tool that we have, that we need to educate right now, is going to be very, very helpful for us in learning. But I think the most important thing over the next few years is the work that we do, in the sense of, we need to remind people of the gift of what it is to be human. We have our own internal navigational system. It's about rehumanizing us again and connecting into our hearts, not giving our power away to governments, to AI, to whatever it is, using them as tools, absolutely, but still keeping this internal navigation system within us and attuning that to what's in alignment with what we're doing. So I think that mindful leadership is going to become functional.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a nice to have or a box to check to keep everybody happy. It's going to be a source of function.
Yeah.
And you can only do that by connecting internally and doing what we do as humans, which is the intuitive side.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Our navigation. Yeah, it's exciting. Scary at the same time, or could be seen as scary. We could see it as like, oh my goodness, what is this change? How is this change coming to serve us? And how do we honor ourselves through it? But yeah, I'm excited, and I do know it's going to get a little bit more uncomfortable as
Yeah.
we make the changes, but change is uncomfortable. So, and so is expansion. So we
Yeah.
need to get used to that, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love you touched on so many areas, and these are revolutions of humanity,
Hmm.
rebirthings, right? It's not
Yeah.
an evolution. AI in many respects has some revolutionary potential and some impact,
Hmm.
especially for those that are losing their jobs or worried about their jobs. Um, this is probably a good point for me to introduce a little bit about why uh, this may be the last
Hmm.
podcast, or certainly is for a long time. Is I was, even though I'd gone through my spiritual awakening in 2017, I'd left my corporate job in 2024, year and a half into my business, and finally sat down with a financial advisor to talk about retirement. So he visited our house. My wife and I, we sat, the three of us, and we chatted. And we were like my wife and I were totally out of alignment with the financial advisor who we know, because he also advises my wife's parents. We know he's brilliant. You could tell immediately he was
Hmm.
fantastic. And so he came with a lot of credibility, and he said some really powerful things that shocked me, right? Because they'd happened in my life too. And so he said things like, I said, I want to retire when I'm 57. And he said,
Hmm.
why? And I said, well, I'm really loving my work, and I just need to make sure I balance off, the amount of energy I'm putting into it and not like draining myself or burning myself out. But I really love it. And he said, but why 57? Why not earlier? And that, like, in that,
Oh.
I was like, whoa! It's like my brain was like not prepared for this question, and that kind of and to be honest, since then it's been, that the wave of that question has continued to echo through my
Mhm.
heart and mind, and that of my wife and I's and our family. And it's quite shocking because when you talk about, you touched on, the younger generations, like my daughter's in university and my son, we went to a career fair yesterday at the high school, which was mobbed, completely mobbed. And it was lovely. They had everything there, from police
Mhm.
to army, navy, air force, local companies, all the way through to universities from around the country. So that was fantastic to see.
Mhm.
And I still felt bad for everyone. It felt like, just follow the norm, right? This is the best. It's literally, as adults, this is what we're saying to our children. This is all we could really think of you could do, right? This is like,
Yeah.
do you want to do these things? Because it's like a list of 20 things and that's it. And don't get me wrong, there's exciting careers in there.
Mhm.
People no doubt will survive many of Earth's revolutions and humanity's revolutions. But there's some are just like, that they're going to enter an office environment in particular, that they're going to experience challenges with boundaries, with burnout, with stress and anxiety. And I
Mhm.
don't want that. I don't want it for my children. But they have a choice. They have a free will choice.
Yes.
Um, and at least both my kids, just like yours, they can see a parent just doing whatever they want. It's like, yeah, I do what I want. You can work, I can do whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it started to send ripples through my life looking forwards, and I entered
Mhm.
in YouTube land in particular, entered these whole new worlds of retirement, semi-retirement, retire-ish, slow financial independence, or
Mm.
financial independence retirement. And it's like, what is all
Yeah.
this? There's a revolution happening here. What is this? And of
Mhm.
course, it's different in different countries, and it is a reaction. It's our generations reacting to, they're like, WTF? They're like, I'm not going to die at this
Yeah.
desk, right? With
Yeah.
nothing. And we've gone in one generation. I remember my father-in-law saying he worked with people who hit 60, they would retire at 60, and they were dead at 63 or
Yeah.
62. And that's what retirement was. It was just like, okay, now you can like rest for a year or two and die. And it's shifted so much in just one generation,
Yeah.
uh, or two generations. Um, And now people are realizing so my health comes first. So many themes from the Mindful Leadership podcast, right? Health
Absolutely.
I'll just make the most of the life I have right now. Like my knees are working, I can climb mountains, I can do all these things.
Yeah.
Why don't I free up my life and my time to focus on the things I love with the people I love? And then the money, and it's really fascinating because, of course, as we get older, our shift goes from money to time. It's like, it wouldn't matter if you gave me 10 million pounds. I couldn't spend it all by the time I die, right? Or I could try. And so those revolutions were quite new to me also, and really exciting to see the people taking their power back. And one key theme that echoes through all of what we've just said about from the predictions part onwards is people, including myself, right, deciding what do you want? Like, what do you want in your life? I created a vision board for myself for the first time. My just images. I spent hours at it, 5 hours at it with my daughter was doing one at the same time. She encouraged me to do it. And I looked at it and it's like, this guy looks retired. He looks like there's a little bit of work and everything else is like adventures, treats, and touring the world. And it's like, wow, this is not the Jon I knew years ago. And yet it all felt right. And it all felt the right balance. And that's been a big thing for me now. It's like, well, if money exists in my life, how much do I want to live off? If time exists in my life, how much do I want? If I'm working and doing this work I love, like to what level, to what balance, without overthinking it and feeling through it with my heart. You know where I'm going with this, Natasha. What do you want in your life, Natasha?
Absolutely. And the theme for me has been slowing down. And you've been such a beautiful example of that, right? I mean, my words for this year are calm and presence. And it's so interesting from the fact that I've started running these challenges in the mornings, these 21-day challenges. And it's really my own spiritual practices that I've wanted to start sharing with people. Right? Like, journey along with me. So we've just done this beautiful abundance and prosperity. It like finishes in a few days but from a foundational level. And the beautifulness that came out of that is bringing calm to the nervous system in order to be able to be vessels for receiving. And I thought that was so beautiful because all these things came up in the group. I mean, this morning one came up of being like, if I do nothing, I feel guilty because I don't feel productive. And I was like, you need to stop seeing productivity as something you do, but perhaps it's stepping into that space of being. Because if you're in that space of being, when you do step into what you would call productive in the doing, you will be able to do whatever you do in 5 hours, in 2 or 3, because you have clarity and your body is ready to receive this, which is a wonderful way to do this. So our themes tend to work quite similar. So when you said, no, I really need to focus my time, I was like, absolutely. This is where we're looking at how do we want to spend time in doing more with less. I think it is. And that's one of the themes that have been coming up for me, is that it's like really become conscious in what it is that I'm wanting to do. And absolutely, this beautiful pairing of what does mindful leadership look like in life, in your career, in your business. And it's been absolutely incredible because I've absolutely stepped into my creativity, where I've started writing again, and I've started enjoying creating these courses, but I've enjoyed creating a community as well to journey alongside with, right? Which has been absolutely beautiful. I'm an early morning person, so it's been almost like a 5 a.m. club kind of a thing, but each of them is building on each other, and it's like having a beautiful community come with me during my spiritual development. And it creates that consistency of really putting my money where my mouth is, so to speak, in embodying the work. And you're so right about, being, I suppose, financially rich and time rich, because usually we go through phases, like you say, we're abundant in one, depleted in the other. But where do we bring in that way where one supports the other, right? In seamlessly and not sacrificing for each other, which I think is a beautiful thing. And I love that you've completely embodied that in so many ways, because you've even stretched me. You're like, I need 2 hours of self-care. And I was like, can I do that? Can I actually do that? Plan that into my day? Like when we first started, you were like, I'm doing 2 hours of, and I was like, oh, there was almost like can I allow myself to do that? So even though I love pushing each other's boundaries in that, going, oh, can I do that? That is radical self-care, and it's necessity, right? So it's beautiful in trying to build that in. So I'm very grateful for that. But you're right in the sense of really becoming focused on where I do spend my time and bringing in more time for development for me, for expansion, and just really doing the things that I love. And it's beautiful because it's actually grown my team in the sense that I'm, and I'm collaborating with people that do the things that they love doing, which are the things that I don't enjoy doing. And I'm focusing on the things that I do because it's created that space to be able to do that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, those ways of working and putting, I call, when I'm every 2 weeks, I do a business mentoring live stream, and I call it a self-love approach to business, and to your dream life, and that the two go hand in hand, especially when you are your business. And yeah, I must admit that I don't know what it was like when I, just a year and a half ago. It was for me, it was very different. I still had a very traditional mindset of maybe, 10-hour days would be starting a business, 10 to 12 hours, be about right. And just whatever I could cram in, everything was work. So whatever I could cram in, whether it was energetically depleting me or not, it was just like, well, that's your hour, because I was just used to working like that, right? But I did have some experience of, for a few years, of doing some of this as a hobby, doing psychic readings, energy clearings for people once, twice a week. So I knew there was going to have to be some kind of balance that was going to be new. I just didn't know what it would be like. And if you look to my calendar now, actually this week's, it's not a quieter week because I am booked out until close to the end of May, right? So it's not quiet, but I've created so much space, especially this week, because I knew I was doing the weekend. I was on adventures, so I knew this week would have there's one client session today, I think, and then two tomorrow. So it will be 4 in total. I've been doing about 4 or 6 in a week, which is, I used to do 4 or 6 in a day when I first met you. And now that journey, because I'm not retiring, and it's a really interesting feeling of probably never really retire.
No,
certainly never retire from doing this, like coming on YouTube, whether we're doing it in person or doing shows, etc., is great fun. And now I've, as of May, this might be like on the edge of your comfort zone, is I'll be going down to just 4 sessions, so Wednesday and a Thursday of client sessions.
Nice.
And then after that, maybe it'll go even less. Maybe, so I've actually modeled out 3 different, my today, May, and then maybe mid next year, I might drop that to 1 day. And lightly still, what I favor, you can tell from my dream life, is I love flexibility. I love, the variety, doing different things with different people. And I love the opportunity to that constant exploration of what brings me joy. And it's hard, right? Because I totally agree with you with this, with the Mindful Leadership podcast. Without fail, every single time, I've always felt joy afterwards, during and after. And that's an amazing sign, right? It's like, And
Yeah.
I felt just as before we came on today, it's like, I'm I'm gonna let that go. Like, like, why are you
Yeah.
doing that, John? Why are you letting go of this joy? And there's this really interesting feeling I had is that um it's in one of the things it's doing for me is encouraging me to stay in my little prison, in my little bubble.
Yeah.
And I said to you, before we came on today, I said I'd like to do more with you in person because I love working with you.
Mhm. Yeah.
I felt that is so good for me, and I keep being guided. It's like, John, get out. And
Yeah.
I even had crazy ideas, none of which I'd discussed with you, but crazy ideas like
I
why
like
not do it
crazy.
live? Why not do it live on a YouTube channel? But there's things like, as you were talking, I imagined us, meeting up once and
Mhm.
like talking with like psychic walks with nature, right? Connected with
Yeah.
nature. And then I also saw us the next time getting time with people in the workplace, meeting them,
Mhm.
asking them
Yes.
about their journeys,
Yeah.
interviewing them,
Yeah.
and some of it like in the streets, some of it going into offices, and that would be such funny extremes to do as well. To go from
Let's
one
try it.
to another. Why did I say all this and then say it live and then end up committing myself? Because yeah, I feel that would be a lot of fun.
That sounds like fun. Well, we have to try it at least. Our friendship, we're birthday buddies.
That's right. Yeah.
And we're also birthday buddies in Sagittarian, which is trying new things and this eternal optimism as to see what happens, right? Yeah, I'd absolutely love to try that. Absolutely. Yeah, meeting people and seeing where they're at and how we can support them would be amazing in real life situations. So yeah, absolutely love that. And I'm loving going connecting with you in person. I think that was great. I miss those conversations because it's very rare that we can bounce these things off people, and you're just a beautiful sounding board and you just have so much wisdom. So it's like I absolutely love doing that. And I think we'd be able to support a lot more people and be of service if we do have those conversations and get out there, because it's the same for me. They're like, how are you loving Scotland? I was like, I love Scotland, but I've created this beautiful bubble. And my children are also like, you need to get out there more. I was like, okay, this works.
My kids have even like sent me links to clubs that I could join locally. One was like a movie club. My daughter's like, "Why didn't you join a movie club?" It's like I feel like I've seen all the movies. I don't
Yeah.
really want to discuss them with more people. Um, and yeah, I I love that. Sometimes our fear guides us, right? And one of the things I'm scared of
Mm,
is I'm scared of talking to people like members of the public, strangers, stopping people in the street and talking to them. It's like, why would you be scared of that, John? What's hiding
yeah.
behind that that door of fear? And it's quite funny because people will project onto you and say, especially doing YouTube work, that they say, "Oh, you're so used to public speaking, you could do that anywhere." It's like, no, you, as you say, Natasha, created this lovely
Yeah.
little cozy little bubble. I can stay in here
It
and
is.
I can be the king
Yeah.
of my universe, right? And a king of
Yeah.
my bubble. And then, oh,
Yeah.
like when I'm outside of it, it's like, no, I don't feel as comfortable. I need to do work there. Um, and maybe we're also reflections of the people that we'll meet, right?
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
if they're about to go on their journeys like this, and it feels so powerful because what I do know about our future of humanity is there's far more unity and interconnectedness than ever
Absolutely.
before. Um, which even our big companies like actually create massive silos in humanity, don't they?
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I've got thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of employees, and
Yeah.
let's talk to any of them. It's like, what? That's awful. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
I
Um,
absolutely think that we will start living an integrated life for sure.
mhm.
Yeah. No, that will be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Yeah, let's catch up and let's see how we're going to have fun with that. But the truth is, John, you're right in the sense that we will always attract to us the people that we need to
Yeah,
for that. So it's the way that energy works. We've always got the right people. So yeah, we will be, and You're right. There will be a reflection of us or of a reflection of the group that is there. Or what I've really found when it comes to it, there'll be the reflection of who we were 2, 3 years ago because
Yeah,
we've experienced that and we're going through that. And then we can support them in that way as well.
we'll call it Escape from the Matrix show, or rebuild your own Matrix. I have no idea, but yeah, it's funny. I had visions then of talking to people
Mhm.
in their workplace or outside. We'll catch all the smokers or vapors, and then
Yes.
like, would you like to come along next
Hmm.
time, and we'll go for a walk in nature together,
Yeah.
and just it's almost like, because if I'd known it was this good outside of my 9 to 5 matrix, right, I would have left sooner.
Yeah. I
Really
think
simple. It's like I would have. It's not like in the Matrix movies where, when Neo first goes to Sion, and
yeah.
it's grim, right? It's like
Yeah.
everyone's like washed out and exhausted, and eating food that's terrible, and it's like, no, it's actually the kind of the opposite. Really,
Hmm.
it's a lot better than enslaving yourself, and it's much happier and it's
Absolutely.
much healthier place, whatever you choose. So that would be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll be answering our own questions about our futures. I'd love to look back. Hi, future John and Natasha. If you're
Yeah.
looking back at this episode, um, and yeah, I had a quantum healing session 2 years ago from Aurora Universe. We had her on our show, and
Yes, we did.
I said at that time, it came up on my Facebook reminders as 2 years now since I'd had that, and every single thing had come true. I wasn't sure if I
Hmm.
was going to leave my corporate job. I didn't know I'd be talking to extraterrestrials so much. I didn't know that I would be. That all these things came out, and it's like, I just remember the disbelief, but part of me was like, but all of it felt real at
Mm.
the time. But there's still parts of me that didn't believe it. There's still parts like, I don't know how. My logic does not, my brain still doesn't understand the past. But when something's happened to you,
Yeah.
you just feel like, well, that was logical now. It's happened. And people say, oh, that's
Yeah.
impossible. It's like, but I did it. That was my life. That was the last 2 years.
Mm.
Um, and our future is not logical, right? Our future
No.
is not like, oh, there's a better thing than governments. It's called lemons or whatever we decide. Like, what's that mean? It's like, I don't know. So yeah, it's super fun to explore.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a question here from Kerry, and she says, do you and Natasha have an ET connection too?
Ooh, an ET connection together? I don't know. There's lots of
Mhm.
lots of questions, or lots of answers we could give around that.
Yeah. So for me, I connect into I go through phases of groups of ETs that I connect to as well, depending on what's happening in my life, how I am of service, and what it may be. So in that case, and a lot of the times it's also my clients come to me and connect in from that. So yeah, so I tend to be connected in that way. Um, and not only that, it's if some of my clients do have an ET connection, I can completely see their guides and describe them as well, which is absolutely beautiful. So I've seen things from like the blue avians to grays to like reptilian to all sorts of things like that as well, which is beautiful. And yeah, it's been an incredible journey. How about you, John?
Yeah, yeah, a lot. And this
Hmm.
this last year has been much more physical as well. So more, um, in fact, just this morning, I was getting this guidance to say, because this also came up in that quantum session I had 2 years ago, was that my guide said, see, so once my wife goes to bed, I usually go to bed about an hour later. They said, that's the
Hmm.
time you've got to either sit outside. I was like, it's freezing outside. And they said, or just sit at the window and stare at the sky. I was like, well, that's probably better for me and more expansive for me
Mm.
than just sitting watching another hour of YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, there's definitely, more contact. a lot more lights in the sky, interactive lights, and just an escalation of that one-to-one relationship. And it's really funny because in my head, I also asked the question, like, do we know each other? For example, I know some people from Galactic Federation ship or other
Yeah.
Council of Lights interactions. And I think the short answer is I don't really know. I just can see that clearly our souls have decided there's a good idea to work together. I'm
Absolutely.
sure the more we ask, the more will be revealed.
Yeah, and I think that our souls also tend to be born at times of change, especially on this planet, to support the change too,
Yeah.
right? Which is quite incredible. And yeah, I absolutely, like Jon, I feel that there's going to be a lot more contact over the end of this year, beginning of next year for sure, quite officially, because I think humanity is ready for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that shift in timeline has come in, because I think the consciousness has gotten to that phase where we're ready to start receiving that information as well. And when we do have that contact, I think our history will be rewritten as well. So I think we'll really start to get to understand who we are as a species, and why we are here. And a lot more context will come into play that has been hidden. And I think if we look at, if that is to happen, a lot of these untruths need to surface so that we can create that flexibility in our belief systems to be able to receive other possibilities that are there in our understanding of who we are and why we are here generally as a species as well.
I agree. And I feel that it's that last domain that humanity's kind of projecting our free will onto. Like, we kind of feel like, oh, but just because all this truth came out from other humans, etc., that but these other guys in space that are going to come and tell us what to do, or kind of this savior like mentality. And I feel that every time I connect, I get the same answers. It's up to you guys. You are humanity. You decide what you want. We're only going to support you once you decide, and ask for help. And it's like, wow, this is a big responsibility. This was a crazy lifetime to come to Earth. And see why I chose it.
No, it is, but it's and that's what makes this planet so beautiful, is that free will.
Yeah.
It's like, but we're ready for more new knowledge and wisdom. And it's not that our history is, it is unknown, but it's a lot of it's been hidden.
Yeah, that's right.
Right from us. I think a lot of it is kept in Vatican City in
That's right.
that like in those lockdown kind of, or a lot of those spaces. But what a beautiful way to get to know who we are in this world, right?
Yeah.
From a different perspective.
That's right. Yeah, it's so powerful. And yeah, I love exploring the fundamental concepts of what will money to be to us in the future. How will we, trade with each other? Will we trade? Some of the shocking truths, right? Like, you really work. If you work in a big company, you could be spending a day a week filling the pockets of your CEO and the board, and then probably another day a week with all the managers in between. Like, who's paying their salaries? You are, right?
Yeah.
And they convince you it's the other way around, right? It's like, oh no, we're the ones that decide how much money you get. It's like, hang on, but when was the last time you spoke to a customer? I speak to them every day. So yeah, I do think there's explorations.
So that's 2 days of the week. The other 2 days of the week, we're working to pay the government. And then the last day of the week is for us, right?
Yeah, that's right. Also true.
I think that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
no,
I was shocked when I started my own business that it's like, I think I get about, it's at best I get about 2/3 after costs, after taxes, the many taxes that we have in the UK. Sometimes feels like a bit like a charity that you're giving to. You're like, hope you're going to do well with this money, guys, because it's a lot. It's a big percentage. Well, we're up on time, and Who's
Shall
going
we
to
do
do
a
meditation?
let's do a joint meditation,
Oh,
John.
yay.
Shall I open up the records?
Yeah, that would be lovely.
And
Yeah.
create a clearing, and then you take us through a journey, and I'll close the records. Does that
Oh, I love
sound good?
that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's begin. Okay. So let's close our eyes. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. And let's imagine that we're breathing in light into our body. And when we exhale, release the tension, the stress, or any lower vibrational frequencies that you may be holding on to. With your breath, you can also exhale, bringing in capacity for what you'd prefer. So, exhaling what you don't prefer and creating space for what you do prefer. And breathe in light into your bones, which is your foundational structures, your joints, your ability to respond, and your agility, your flexibility. And continue exhaling all that no longer serves. Breathe in light into your nervous system, allowing you to drop a few notches into a space of calm. Let's breathe in light to all areas of our body, all systems, all functions. And exhale all that no longer serves. Now breathe in light beyond your physicality into your auric field, hosting your etheric, your mental and emotional bodies. And exhale any thought forms, any emotions that no longer serve, any static distortion and interference in your field. And allow that vibrational frequency to expand into a resonance that is more you. And as we align our fields to our higher selves and our I am presence, we start to connect to the field of Mother Earth. And we start to remember that we are an extension of Mother Earth, perhaps a cell playing a bigger part of the bigger system on this planet. And we start to sync our heartbeat with that of Mother Earth's. Bringing in a sense of coherence of an ascended Earth. And aligning to that frequency. And we feel completely one with Mother Earth. And we bring our attention back into our heart space. And we connect into the divinity that we already are. And as we connect into this pulse of divinity, we start to connect into the pulse of the universe. The stars, the moons, the suns, to the aspect of all that is. And we sync our breath with that of the universe, finding that rhythm. And we start to remember that we are connected to all things, that we are all things and all things are us. And we remember that we are creators of our universe. And as our heart beats with that of Mother Earth and our breath sinks in with that of the universe, we bring our focus into who we are in this moment. The universe expressing itself in this physical form. Completely divine, completely human, all at the same time. Let's open our Akashic records to connect into the field, the map, the knowledge, the blueprint of who we are in this world. And drop into the heart space, and let's open the records. Keepers of the Akashic records, please open and allow me access to my records. My name is, state your name, and we create a safe and sacred space for our highest good, our healing, stepping into our highest potential in all areas. The records are now open, the records are now open, the records are now open. Now, as we step over the thresholds into the maps that we've created for our lives, the frequencies of our highest potential, Jon will guide us through navigating this blueprint. Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha. As you're now in your Akashic space, ahead of you, you begin to feel a future timeline of you, your highest timeline, your highest joy and happiness. And this version of you steps forwards from just a few years ahead of you, coming right up close to you now. And bring your awareness to their heart. This is your heart playing out across space and time, and also in vibration. If you choose for a moment, you can pause, even pause this replay and ask questions of your future self. And for now, we have a very important task to help navigate from the present to this highest future. Your future self now is stepping backwards. And as they walk backwards to create distance between you, a rainbow bridge is forming between you. It forms just large enough that you can't quite see over the hump at the middle of the bridge, at the middle of the rainbow. You can't quite see, you can just make out your future self. And you can feel the energy from your future calling you, from your heart in the future calling you now. And as you look down at your feet, you can see where the rainbow arrives in this present moment. The rainbow has different colors, each signifying an area of your life and your body. Any single one of these areas that has too great a focus from you or reliance, such as the colors of yellow and orange around your solar plexus and connected in with financial abundance, if only that was in its highest potential, its highest timeline, it would only serve to amplify the shadows in all the other areas of your life. And so you choose, if you choose, balance and harmony across all areas so that you're able to experience your highest possible love and joy. So take a look now down at the rainbow bridge connecting you. Just these deeper reds and browns. And you're feeling the bottom of your root chakra, the base of your spine, your connection to the earth. And you're asking yourself a question: what brings me the highest joy? And as you do so, the vision, the feeling of that flows from your root chakra down into this rainbow bridge and up over the hump of the bridge to your future self, binding you both, connecting you together. And from your sacral chakra now, just at your navel, you're feeling all that joy and fun, your inner child. You're feeling those remembrances of infinite creativity and passion and fire within you. And again, those feelings, a vision of your future, of what you truly want, what you really need in your life. It's going down to the rainbow bridge, up over the hump and connecting to your future self. And from your solar plexus now, as you feel into your stomach, just above the sternum, this area of your body that connects you with your whole body, receiving and giving of abundance, the flow of all financial abundance, resources, also the fire, also the creativity, also the self-love and self-trust. Touching that part of your body if you choose, releasing that loving, self-loving energy, free-flowing abundance, yellowy, fiery, orange color flowing down through your root, down to the rainbow bridge, and up over the hump to connect to your future self. And now of your heart, your big, beautiful, ever-expanding heart, feeling safe and protected in the space that Natasha and I have helped you create. These are your true desires. May all your shadows have light. May they all have a say. May they all have an opportunity to be loved by you. And may all your highest love and highest joy, including feelings that you may have even felt you're unworthy of in the past, be possible for you, be an opportunity for you to connect, to reunify yourself and to connect in unity with others. And this time, flowing directly from your heart down to this beautiful green on the rainbow bridge and up over the hump and directly into the heart of your future self. Coming up into your throat, opening your truths, both the truths across humanity, the truths of what you truly desire, of who you truly are, allowing your fire to be expressed, no longer holding back, speaking freely. And as you do, this energy connects into the rainbow bridge, up over the hump and into your future self, allowing your future self to verbalize, to sing and to call you, calling your name, calling you into this future now. And into your third eye, relaxing and opening, perceiving multiple dimensions at once, and allowing yourself to be the true multi-dimensional human, soul, light body, your consciousness, your heart, every dimension of you, and across all dimensions, you're becoming more freely connected, opening up safely, never losing yourself, simply expanding beyond the limitations that have been projected upon you as you connect your third eye into the rainbow bridge and over to your future self. And then finally, for your crown chakra, your head, allowing your mind to relax, to let thoughts gently flow in and out, allowing the important ones to find their place. And if they don't need dealt with right now, you can promise you'll come back to them later. And as this time, as you connect your crown chakra into this rainbow bridge in front of you, you begin to feel this lightness, these little letters of love that are flowing freely now between you and your higher self, your guides, your spirit guides. And if you choose, your extraterrestrial family also, feeling just as Natasha drew us into our connection, our breath with the universe. You're remembering your origins, remembering your truth, and remembering the true opportunity for your expansiveness beyond any logic that we've experienced today so far in our lives. And finally, as you look down across this rainbow bridge and the connections you've created, you've realized one consistent theme across every aspect of you, that there are choices within every aspect and every dimension of you to take. And the more you feel into these in the present moment, the easier this traversal is across this rainbow bridge, because you're already standing on it. You're already traversing into your future. You're already on your highest timeline. And with this, I'll hand back to you, Natasha.
Okay. And as we make our way back to the here and now, knowing that when we do open our eyes, that we are no longer the person we were when we closed them. We will emerge as this future, highest potential version of us. And we give thanks and gratitude to the keepers of the records, to the guides, and all those that supported this journey, for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the clarity that we've been given. The records are now closed, the records are now closed, the records are now closed. Take a deep breath and exhale. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for that journey. It was wonderful.
And 8 in the live stream, how beautiful. Thank you so much. What a powerful end to this cycle.
Yes.
Natasha, it's been such an honor, and I'm so excited for those ideas I blurted out. I'm sure we'll have many.
Yes. Absolutely, we will. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor to do this work with you and all the guests that have shown up. It really is. So very grateful for all of you.
Yes,
really.
Thank you. And thank you for everyone in the live chat. And in the replay, let us know in the replay as well if you enjoyed today. And also share ideas about what you'd like us to adventure into next.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Thank you so much. All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.